They say the greatest fortunes are hidden in plain sight, but what if I told you one of the most breathtaking gemstones on Earth has been overlooked for centuries, dismissed as just another green mineral, while collectors quietly pay fortunes for it behind closed doors? Imagine holding a raw, dusty rock in your hand, only to discover it could be worth more than a luxury car, or even a house. Sounds unbelievable, right? But this is the reality of Dioptase, a rare, electrifying green gemstone that has stunned gem experts and turned ordinary discoveries into life-changing moments. Picture this: a miner in a remote desert, under the blazing sun, wipes the dust off a rock. At first glance, it looks ordinary. But then, a flash of intense emerald green brilliance catches the light. That single moment, the shift from doubt to realization, is where everything changes. Because Dioptase is not just another gemstone. It is a hidden treasure, one that lives in secrecy, known only to those who truly understand its value. And today, you're about to become one of them. Now here's the twist most people don't realize. While gemstones like emeralds and diamonds dominate headlines, Dioptase quietly commands astonishing prices among elite collectors. Why? Because it is rare. Not just hard to find rare, but extremely limited, geographically restricted, and almost impossible to obtain in high-quality form. That combination creates something powerful. Demand that far exceeds supply. And in the world of gemstones, that's where the real money lies. But let me ask you something. If you found a glowing green crystal embedded in rock, would you recognize it? Or would you walk right past it, thinking it's worthless? That's the difference between those who change their lives and those who miss the opportunity. Dioptase was first discovered in the late 18th century, and initially mistaken for emerald because of its vivid color. Imagine the shock when experts realized it was something entirely different, something even rarer. Found primarily in regions like Namibia, Kazakhstan, and parts of the Democratic Republic of Congo, this gemstone forms under highly specific conditions. It doesn't just appear anywhere. Nature has to get everything exactly right. Pressure, chemistry, environment, and when it does, the result is nothing short of extraordinary. And here's where things get exciting. High-quality Dioptase crystals are so rare that collectors are willing to pay tens of thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands, for exceptional specimens. Yes, you heard that right. A small crystal cluster, fitting in the palm of your hand, can command a price that most people would never imagine. It's not just a stone, it's a statement. A symbol of rarity, beauty, and exclusivity. Now you might be thinking, if it's that valuable, why haven't I heard about it? Exactly. That's the hidden advantage. The most profitable opportunities are often the least talked about. By the time something becomes mainstream, the biggest gains are already gone. But Dioptase still lives in that sweet spot, recognized by experts, desired by collectors, yet still under the radar for the general public. Let's break the illusion for a moment. Not every green stone is valuable. In fact, most are not. This is where fear comes into play, and it should, because the market is full of imitations, misidentified minerals, and overpriced pieces. One wrong move, and what you thought was a treasure could turn into a costly mistake. But don't let that scare you away. Let it sharpen your awareness. Real Dioptase has a distinct, almost electric green color, brighter and more intense than most other green minerals. Its crystal structure is unique, often forming sharp, glass-like crystals that reflect light beautifully. And unlike many gemstones, it has a fragility that adds to its rarity. It's not something you can easily cut and polish without risk. That's why collectors often value it in its natural crystal form. Untouched, raw, and authentic. Now here's a question to reset your thinking. What if the next worthless rock you see isn't worthless at all? What if it's your opportunity, disguised as something ordinary? The truth is, the gemstone market is driven by perception, rarity, and timing. And Dioptase sits at a powerful intersection of all three. As more people begin to discover its beauty and value, prices are expected to rise. That creates urgency. Because in markets like this, waiting often means paying more later or missing out completely. But let's take this deeper. This isn't just about money. It's about transformation. The idea that something overlooked can become something extraordinary. That a hidden gem can change everything. There's a reason stories like this captivate us. They reflect a deeper truth about opportunity itself. And yes, there's excitement in the possibility of finding a stone worth millions. But there's also strategy. Knowing where to look. Understanding what to look for. Connecting with the right markets and buyers. Because value is not just in the discovery, it's in the ability to recognize and act on it. Collectors and investors around the world are already paying attention. Private auctions, exclusive deals, high-end mineral shows. This is where Dioptase moves quietly, away from the public eye. And when something operates in silence like that, it usually means one thing. The people involved know its true worth. Now imagine this scenario. You come across a piece of land, a rocky surface, or even a mineral shop. Among hundreds of stones, one catches your eye. It glows differently, feels different. Do you ignore it, or do you take a closer look? That single decision could be the difference between walking away empty-handed or stepping into a completely new financial reality. Let's add a bit of humor here. Because honestly, who would have thought that something called Dioptase could potentially pay your bills? It sounds more like a science experiment than a life-changing asset. But that's the irony of it. The most powerful opportunities often come in unexpected forms. And here's the connection that brings everything together. The world is full of hidden value, not just in gemstones, but in ideas, opportunities, and moments. Dioptase is simply a symbol of that truth. A reminder that what appears ordinary can be extraordinary, if you know how to see it. As we move toward the end of this journey, one thing becomes clear. The demand for rare, natural gemstones is not going away. In fact, it's growing. As wealth increases globally, collectors are searching for unique, tangible assets, things that cannot be replicated or mass-produced. And Dioptase fits that demand perfectly. So the question is no longer, is Dioptase valuable? The real question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you explore it further? Will you learn to identify it? Will you position yourself in a market where hidden gems can lead to real wealth? Because opportunities like this don't wait. They don't announce themselves loudly. They exist quietly, waiting for someone to notice, to act, to believe that something small can become something massive. And maybe, just maybe, the next time you see a green crystal shining in the light, you won't see just a stone. You'll see potential. You'll see opportunity. You'll see a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered.